Welcome to Just Koryzma, episode 60, and I'm your host, Braden Koryzma. Joining me today is Balraj Maan. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
That's good. So Balraj is a mortgage broker, and he also does a little bit of consulting, but not as much right now. But
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about how you got into mortgage broking? Brokering, I guess.
Mortgage brokering, yeah. A bit of a long story. I'll try to cut it down, and we'll try to see how it happened. So, I'm originally from Singapore. I was living in the US. Met my wife, who is Canadian. And at that point, we were dating, we got engaged. She was moving back to Canada, and I said, I'm coming with you, of course. So
Makes sense.
Yeah, you follow the girl. You always follow the
Exactly.
girl. So I ended up in Canada. She went back to school to do her post-bac in a teaching degree.
Oh, cool.
Which is how we found ourselves in Nanaimo.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so moving from Singapore to Hawaii to Haida Gwaii to Nanaimo and finishing school and all that, we got sick and tired of moving.
I can get that.
It's expensive. Like, you keep moving and
and
applying for PRs and this and that. So we hit Nanaimo. We thought it was a really cool place. And we hit that age where, maybe we should make a go of things, settle down, and see what happens.
Totally.
So at that point, I was still consulting for clients in the US, and we started talking to banks. So we went to a couple of different banks, and, I'd walk in like, hi, I'm new to Canada. I'm self-employed. Most of my clients in the US, can I get a mortgage?
Yeah.
Pretty much as soon as I sat in the chair, they basically said, sorry, we can't help you. Maybe come back in a couple of years. Or if you have a massive, massive down payment. I didn't have that.
Are they looking for like 20% type thing?
I think it was even more than that. I think it was like maybe 30-40%.
Oh, wow.
At that point.
Yeah, that's
things
still...
have changed, and
Yeah.
it's a bit different now that I know the industry. So by chance, we were walking through a mall, and we came across a mortgage brokerage company that just opened in Nanaimo. It was Oceanville Mortgage and Finance. So we walked in, met the managing broker, the lead broker, Jose and Nolan, sat down, did a mortgage application. They looked at everything and they said, no, we should be able to get you something. You've been here for, I think at that point, was it a year or two?
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so there was some history.
Yeah.
So through a mortgage broker, I got a mortgage, and I met Nolan and Jose, and we were just talking about mortgages, talking about business, talking about Nanaimo, and what happened. I was kind of just learning more and more about the industry. Like, so mortgages in Canada, like how long do they last? Oh, you amortize it over 25, 30 years, but basically each term is like 3 to 5 years. So every 3 to 5 years you get to renew your mortgage or do something else, change lenders, that kind of thing. So I was sitting there and thinking like, so if you do a really good job, people like you, they'll come back. So there's repeat business.
Totally, yeah. Because, I think the goal of buying houses is to buy a bunch.
Well, buy a bunch, but also if you trust someone and anytime your mortgage is up for renewal, you keep going back to the same person
Totally.
every 3 to 5 years. It's good for that guy, it's good for you because you feel taken care of, and that guy gets business.
Absolutely. And then, then it's good word of mouth, all that stuff.
Yeah. So I asked him, hey, are you hiring more mortgage brokers? And he said, not really, but you're kind of an interesting guy. So if you go do the mortgage broker licensing exam and you pass, I'll take you on as my first commission broker.
Nice.
So fast forward 3 months, I came back like, hey, I passed the exam. And he's like, sweet, let's go.
Nice.
So that's how I became a mortgage broker. So the company that did my mortgage ended up hiring me, and I've been there ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how have you been liking it?
I enjoy it a lot. You're pretty much, I'm still self-employed, even though I represent a company.
Right, it's like subcontractor type thing?
Yeah, I'm 100% commission.
Yeah.
And so if I don't work, I don't get paid.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's flexibility where if I do want to take a Monday off, I can. If I want to work Saturday, Sunday, I can, to try and, expand how much I work.
For sure.
And the earning potential.
Yeah.
So I like the flexibility, and I love helping people get into a home. Because I remember how stressful it was for me and my wife. And if I can make the process not as stressful for other people, I think I've done a good job.
Yeah.
Which, that's
agree.
basically the end of it.
Buying a home is super stressful, considering there's so many things you don't think about, lawyer fees, notary fees, like it's just like so many like small things that just make like a down payment so much more, and like it's just it's very overwhelming.
You got your down payment and then you got your closing costs.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're just like, wait, what? But then it's just it's good to have like people like you to kind of work with them, and it's just like, okay, we'll figure out a way to make this work. You just gotta like be open to ideas and stuff like that.
And the goal is always to go talk to a mortgage broker or a bank, get pre-qualified, understand what the whole process is going to look like.
For sure.
From the time you put in an offer on a home, right up until you take possession of the house.
Yeah.
And whether it's a purchase, refinance, renewal, the idea is to always work with someone that can really help you understand everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then like so. I know it's kind of hard to justify, whether you go bank or a mortgage broker, but is there like any different major differences between the two?
There are a couple of differences, and it's kind of a hard question because
totally.
If you work at a bank, you always want to tell people to go to the bank.
Absolutely.
If you're a mortgage broker, you want to tell people to go to a mortgage broker.
It's a very biased kind of
yeah. For me, I always tell people, at some point in your life, the bank might make more sense. At some point, a mortgage broker might make more sense. So it really depends on where you are in your life, what your situation is. Because I've seen, mortgage applications where if you have a really good relationship with your bank, they can do things that a mortgage broker can't.
Totally.
And there's going to be lots of times where if you go to a mortgage broker, they can do things that the bank can't. Like in my situation when I bought my place.
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to where you are in your life and who can help you better at that particular moment. So if someone comes to me and they say, hey, should I go chat with my bank too? I never tell them not to. I say, by all means, go ahead, chat with a bank, chat with another mortgage broker and see who you like best and pick that one.
Yeah, because worst case scenario is you still have best case scenario, you still have the best offer. Worst case scenario is just like, it's good to have multiple opinions type thing.
And sometimes the best offer is not the best product.
Yeah.
But, like mortgage brokers, banks, most of the professionals that I work with, we do want to do what's best for the client.
Absolutely, right?
And as long as you're comfortable and you trust that person in front of you that they're telling you the right thing, I would say that's how you make a decision when you pick bank or broker.
That's really good. Like that's awesome. Like
yeah,
it's better to definitely go with that's why I like how you want to build the relationship with the people though.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be in business as a mortgage broker for a long, long time, it's all about the people that you meet every day.
Yeah.
It's definitely a relationship-based business. And almost any town that you're in, and especially when you're advising on someone buying something so big.
Yeah, because it's quite the investment, right?
Yeah. So if you do something bad to someone once, that reputation, that word of mouth is going to affect you for the next 20 years of your career.
100%, yeah.
And I would rather always do the right thing and make sure that my reputation is protected.
Absolutely, yeah. Because if anything, it'll get you more clients. And then all at the same time, the clients you currently have will only trust you more.
Yeah. Just keep doing the right thing. It's really not that hard.
Totally. So then, what's kind of like your favorite part about being a mortgage broker?
Favorite part of being a mortgage broker, I think. First-time home buyers.
Oh, yeah?
When first-time home buyers get into a home, the level of excitement that they have, it's infectious. And so when you meet them and they say, oh, thank you so much for all your help, we got into a home, and you see the excitement, like you feel it too. And, the other part of mortgage brokering where I think it doesn't get talked about a lot is people who are in trouble financially, for whatever reason. You're sick, you're going through a divorce, you own a home, but you've got all these debts going on.
Right.
Sometimes if you can find a solution for them, like refinancing, get rid of medical bills, get rid of that, and just relieve all that stress. That's another avenue where it's very, very rewarding.
That's awesome. Yeah, I could definitely see like the appreciation being a first-time home buyer or like, someone who's kind of struggling financially and you're able to kind of help them reach a goal that they've probably been striving for quite some time.
Yeah, you literally see the weight lift off their shoulders. Like it's night and day.
Yeah, I believe it. Like there's no, like the stress of like I have a place to live and I don't have to stress about whether you're gonna get kicked out at the end of the lease or whatever the situation may be. At least they have some place to go call it home.
Yeah, and having a home is important.
Yeah, definitely. So like you and I were talking before, you basically work 7 days a week.
Yes.
Do you find that stressful at all?
It's something I'm used to.
Yeah.
I've been working for myself for a long time. And even my previous job, before I became sort of an independent consultant and then eventually a mortgage broker, the job it was a Monday to Friday job, but there was always more work that needed to be finished on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I kind of just fell into the routine that every day was a work day, and I've been doing it since 2010.
Oh, wow, okay, so like a decade now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's good and bad.
Totally.
You definitely have to make sure you set time aside for things that are not work.
Yeah, like I guess like family and actually like enjoying yourself, so you're not just just all about work.
Yeah, and the one part that I neglected a lot when I was working 7 days a week was health, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
I never really took care of myself, and a couple of years ago I got pretty sick.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Another long story, but to make it short, I had like this massive blood clot that showed up.
Oh.
I had to go, for 2 surgeries, get it taken care of. I was on blood thinners for a while. And I think stress and not taking care of myself had a really, really big part in that.
Totally.
But now everything's taken care of. And even though I work 7 days a week, during those 7 days, I still find time to spend time with family, rest, relax. So I'm available for my clients 7 days a week, but it doesn't mean that I'm pushing myself every day for like 15, 18 hours.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So then what are you finding that kind of helps you keep like stress-free and all that stuff?
I like staying at home.
Yeah, I get that.
Me and my wife are both homebodies. I think our favorite thing to do is sit on the couch, put on a good movie, cook something really delicious, and hang out under blankets or whatever.
Nice.
I like hanging out with friends, just a quiet beer at the bar, that sort of thing, hang out at a buddy's house.
That's good. Yeah, you're finding things that you kind of just forget about work for a bit, and that way, because I find when you don't think about work, life's a lot less stressful.
Yeah, and because we're out sort of socializing, networking, every day, my rest is always a quiet space. Yeah, no, I definitely can understand that. Why being a homebody is so much nicer, because it's just like you don't have that you don't have to constantly be like saying, hey, how you doing, like introducing yourself, meeting people, and then like it's not bad. Like I like meeting people, and I can talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere. Like, totally. I love meeting and talking to people. But it's all about balance in life. So you can't be switched on and happy all the time or chitty chatty. You need your quiet time as well. For sure, there's definitely been a lot of times like I've been really appreciating like when all the guys and everyone's at work right now, since I'm on leave right now, and it's just like I can just like take a deep breath and it's just like quiet and it's super nice. Yeah, that's cool. So then I guess being a mortgage broker, how many clients do you see throughout, I guess we'll say, a week? Depends on the time of year. Okay. And it depends on how busy you are as a mortgage broker. I've been in the business for 2 years. Yeah, just about 2 years full time. Okay. And so a more experienced mortgage broker with, maybe 7, 8, 10 years in the business might see upwards of 10, 15 clients a week, sometimes even more. Wow. The guys starting out, if you can see maybe 3 to 5 solid clients a week, that's a really, really good number, and that's kind of where I am right now. That's awesome. Yeah. Where do you find summers are more busy than like I guess winters and stuff like that, or is it just does it change, I guess, depending on the market? There is a seasonality that's quite typical in real estate. Like the spring market's always the busiest time of year. Okay. A period of summer as well towards the end. And so it kind of does like a double like dip a roller every coaster. Year. Yeah. But winter's usually quiet. This winter was a bit busier than usual, and I think it's just some lag from the downturn not necessarily downturn, but 2019 was kind of a quiet year for mortgages in the winter period.
Right.
Like really quiet.
Okay. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You can kind of relax a little bit more.
Yeah, but when you're commissioned, you got to pay the bills.
Exactly. You got to pay those bills.
Yeah.
That's very true. I guess. So then, what's kind of like the hardest part about being a mortgage broker?
Hardest part about being a mortgage broker is probably the fact that you can't always depend on a steady income.
Okay.
So being commission based, if you don't have like a solid pipeline of clients, then you might hit a few months or a few weeks where there's no paycheck. So you always want to be careful. And
for sure.
Even though it is seasonal, so you're going to make more money at certain times of the year. You got to put some aside, so in the slower months you're okay.
Yeah, so it kind of all balances out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like hydro in the winter and summer, where you use more in the winter, less in the summer.
So the irregularity of the paycheck is probably the hardest part about it. But if you kind of grow your business to a point where you know what you're going to get, or you can plan and forecast what you're going to earn.
Right, and then you can kind of
just be okay.
That's cool. So you can kind of project spending, savings, all that stuff.
Yeah. I have a 1-year budget for myself at all times. I know exactly what I'm going to spend, and I know how much I need to make to get there.
That's cool.
I like Excel spreadsheets.
No. So then I guess with being a mortgage broker, you kind of have to do you must have to pay for your own advertising, your own stuff like that. So I guess, did you have to learn any advertising and anything like that? Or
when I started, I think not everyone kind of goes the route that I go, and it's probably a better idea if you have the resources to pay experts to do what they're good at.
Right.
When I started, I just went headfirst into everything. I wanted to manage every aspect of my business, from building the website, designing my creatives, what I was going to put up on social media.
Totally.
And Facebook advertising. I had to figure it all out by myself. It's
good. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a good skill to learn, and then especially when if you ever decide to find someone to kind of help you with it, you at least have that general knowledge that you can be like, no, I don't like this, or actually I didn't know this, but this is great. I
have an appreciation for people who are really, really good at doing websites and generating business off Facebook and Google.
The sales funnels?
Because it is time consuming, and it's very, very hard.
Yeah, so, I can imagine. It's probably hard to get someone to click on a mortgage broker ad when sometimes they're like, I don't even know if I need a house, but sure,
It's really easy to put an ad up.
Yeah.
But the hard part is actually getting someone to click on it and go to your website or go to whatever link you have for them to get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
That's the hard part.
I get that. I would imagine that's where word of mouth kind of is more beneficial in terms than advertisement, because then they're just like, here's his number. Call this person.
Word of mouth has probably been my biggest source of business in my first 2 years.
That's awesome.
More so than online stuff. And I figured that out pretty quick, where I could have a nice website, but if I couldn't get people to go there,
totally.
It's there for nothing.
Then you're just you're paying to have it online for no reason. No, it makes sense.
Then I went around and did networking, business networking, social networking. Just went around town, met as many people as I could, try to make human connections, and if they felt like anybody needed a mortgage that might be a good fit for me, to just send them my way.
Totally. So, you're not pressuring them to say buy a house. You're just if you're ever in need or someone, just here's my card and here you go. I am a no pressure salesperson. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what people would probably like about you. Is they don't feel stressed to they don't feel the stress of oh, I need to use this person. Or they can go talk to you and then they can walk away thinking that was a really generic, relaxing conversation. There's no stress.
And that's the thing about a mortgage broker. The industry came about and has become more and more sophisticated over the last few years. What we do is we provide choice.
Totally.
And so any interaction with a mortgage broker you should never feel like you're being trapped to use their services.
Yeah.
It's no obligation. Any advice that we give is free. So just sitting down for an hour and talking to a mortgage broker and picking his brain doesn't cost you anything. And at the end of the day, if you feel like he has the best option for you, go work with him.
Exactly, right?
If he doesn't have what fits with what you're looking for, then go chat with someone else. But choice is the most important thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, Balraj, this is part of the show called The Motivational Moment. Yeah. So how would you describe your passion in 5 words or less?
My passion, I'm primarily driven by love and just good things in life, like, you know, being good. So 5 words or less. Be good and work hard.
Okay.
That's kind of one that's been in my head recently.
And so, like, why those 4 words?
I came across this piece of art or a print somewhere that said, you know, like, work hard and be nice to people. And I kind of shortened it to just be good and work hard, because it's a very simple thing to say, but it's really hard to do.
You're right.
And if you can just keep reminding yourself every day why you're here, why you're in your profession, what are your goals, what are your ambitions, and if you can just always be nice to people and work hard, work honest, everything will be okay. You know?
Totally. Yeah, like it'll come full circle, like
it does.
Because then it's also like the good karma aspect,
I
right?
believe in good karma a lot.
Yeah, totally.
The more good you put out, the more it comes back.
Absolutely. And like, you know, then if like when the weird coincidental things happen, you're like you feel like it's just good karma, and you're just like, if anything, it's just like paying it forward.
Yeah.
So you kind of get more motivated to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. So then, what advice would you give for someone wanting to be a mortgage broker?
Someone wanting to be a mortgage broker. It's a profession that I don't know if too many people think about being a mortgage broker, but I have talked to a few who have kind of considered it.
Okay.
You know, they might have been from banks or other industries that have worked with mortgages on some level.
Right.
And they hear about the earning potential of a mortgage broker. But it takes a lot of hard work to get to that point.
Yeah,
and I'm still in the grind trying to get to that point.
Yeah, because you got to build the clientele, the reputation, and then, you know, you also are competing against banks, other mortgage brokers, not even just, you know, mortgage brokers you work with, because, you know, they're colleagues, but, you know, they're also out there competing as well. So totally.
Yeah, it's a very competitive setting. There is education behind it. You do have to go take a course at UBC to get licensed.
Okay.
So there's an educational component that you have to pass, and then you have to go find a brokerage that you can plug into.
Yeah.
And a lot of what you learn from the educational component is not what will make you successful. It'll teach you a lot of the legal stuff, the ethics stuff, the finance stuff, the laws, the anything like that. But to actually run a business as a self-employed person, you know, it's marketing, advertising, generating leads, and because we have so many lenders that we can choose from, there's so many different policies and rates, and it's a lot to fit into your head all at once.
Totally.
And when I first started, you know, you can go 6-7 months without getting a single paycheck.
Yeah, and like that's scary, right?
It is very scary.
Yeah, because then you never know like what an unforeseen expense could come at you. Like, for all you know, a tire's gonna blow, or like something in your car goes.
Or you get a blood clot. And
exactly,
you have to go
right?
for surgery.
Exactly, like it's just these crazy things that you're just like not ready for.
And so I'd say if you want to be a mortgage broker, make sure you can live. And I think there's a pretty famous mortgage broker in Canada. He wrote a series of books called Be the Better Broker.
Okay.
His name's Dustin Woodhouse. And I think I read his books just as I was becoming a broker. And he said, if you can afford, I think it was something like this, like make sure you have your finances taken care of for a year before you even think about being a mortgage broker. So make sure you can pay your rent, your food, your bills, and then maybe jump in and being a mortgage broker. If you don't have a lot saved, if you don't have a supportive family around you, or, you know, because having a large social network does not automatically translate into being a really successful mortgage broker.
No, it just means you follow a lot of people, or they follow you, or blah blah blah. It doesn't mean they're
going to use your services as a broker. They might like you as a person, but they might not want to do their mortgage with you.
Yeah, totally.
And
well, that's
so have a lot of money in the bank and be prepared to go a while without a paycheck.
Yeah, that makes sense,
Yeah.
considering it'll probably take you 3-4 months before you get your first client.
Sometimes. Some
Depending-
guys just jump in and
Yeah, and
they're
it's
just like
just
rock stars
natural,
and they've
yeah.
got 10 mortgages in the first month.
Yeah.
But I'd say you probably want to try and make it through the first 2 years, and then you kind of know, all right, this can be a career now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. That's good to have like a bunch of financial stability and everything, and yeah, I'm sure it's quite the emotional stress as it is like on you as well. Like when you're thinking like go 3-4 months without a check.
Yeah, but coming from a sort of independent contractor background, I was used to it.
Yeah. So
it wasn't a big adjustment for me. But if you're used to a steady paycheck every 2 weeks or every month,
yeah,
it could be a big shock for you.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So like, what do you want to talk about the market that much?
The market?
Yeah, the housing.
The housing market?
Yeah.
Well, it's been interesting,
Yeah.
to say the least. It's definitely expensive.
For sure. I definitely, as I've grown up in Nanaimo, I've watched the cost of houses just go up.
Yeah.
Except for like that crash in I think 2008.
Yeah.
It was like that was like the big crazy thing. But then
That was felt globally, yeah.
Yeah.
What happened in the U.S. and
yeah. So I mean, like really, like after that, houses may drop a little bit here and there, but it's at the end of the year, it's still year over year going up and up.
I think real estate over time just always goes up.
Totally.
I think Nanaimo, don't quote me on this because the number could be a bit off. When I first moved here, before I became a broker, and because I'm a numbers guy, I'm analytical, I went online and I downloaded data on the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board.
Okay.
And I analyzed like 30 years of data for housing prices in Nanaimo and Parksville, Qualicum.
Okay.
And I think if you do like a long-term average, it's probably between 5 and 7% appreciation year over year.
Wow.
So if you time it right, you can do really well. If you hold it long-term, you're always going to be okay. Where it gets tricky is if you're trying to buy something and flip it in a year. That's where,
Totally, because that's where it might make or break depending on like I guess.
Yeah, housing is definitely expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe some say it is priced right. But
I think it depends on the person where they are financially and all that stuff, right? Yeah.
But it is, I see it become more and more challenging for young first-time home buyers to get into the market.
Yeah, especially like with that the first-time home buyers thing. It only applies for houses under $500,000, which most houses you're far and few between. Like you're gonna, yeah. So
the incentive is there to help certain markets. I think Nanaimo doesn't really fall into that market right now.
No, especially with how big Nanaimo's becoming.
Yeah.
It's definitely a bigger city than it was 10 years ago, and I can only imagine how much bigger it's going to get in another 10.
Yeah, I think I saw recently it's still in positive growth year over year.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Considering like all the new houses going up in Lanceville, and then there's just new like...
There's subdivisions everywhere.
There's just new subdivisions going up everywhere you look. So it's definitely like I can understand year over year.
No, it's hard. Like if the average price of a home is about $550 and you're putting down a 5% down payment, I think your household income needs to be around 110,000 a year.
Totally.
And that's with no or very, very little debt.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not against you.
Yeah. So I think you think about the median income in Nanaimo and you think about the kind of jobs that are available. It's hard.
It's totally hard. Yeah, because I mean, like we were talking earlier, like you can go to school for 4 years, not be able to find a job in your field, and then you can go back if you want to school, or you can. Most places like you'll have to start working like retail or minimum wage and stuff like that.
Yeah. But we're talking about people moving to Nanaimo, and that's kind of what excites me about the city. I know prices are kind of high right now, but with more interest in the city, more people moving here, what I'm hoping is that, a lot of these good paying middle income jobs come to the city too.
Yeah.
Maybe, larger companies come here, they start hiring, there's a lot of interest in Vancouver Island.
Totally.
And if the industry moves here, then it supports the population, then everything kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the next step that we're waiting for, I think, in Nanaimo.
Those more middle income jobs where
that foot ferry comes in, and maybe hopefully that changes things. infrastructure, investment, the downtown core, that's definitely something that I'm excited about. I know there's a lot of good organizations in town who are working towards, making it a better place.
Totally, yeah. It's I definitely really enjoy Nanaimo as a person. Like, I just love the city. There's so much to do.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see it grow, and it would be nice to see, I guess, like, people be more successful, like, just financially, so it's not always struggling.
Yeah, the jobs are a big part of it, and Nanaimo is an awesome city. One of the things that we really loved about it was accessibility. Like the airport's right there.
Yeah.
Vancouver's right there.
Yeah.
We've got 2 ferries. We have a Costco.
Yeah, like, literally.
Which is very important for me.
Oh, I love Costco. I think I'm at that adult age where you get excited for Costco.
Yeah.
And because it's like, there's just so much to get.
I'll throw a plug in for a Kirkland brand toilet paper.
Oh my gosh,
best
lifesaver.
in the world.
Yeah, it comes with like 30 rolls for like $10. And it's just,
that's my favorite. That's my number one reason for having a Costco membership.
I don't blame you. Yeah, we have, I think, there's like 5 of us in this house, so we need Costco toilet paper.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely great. I definitely am excited. Do you only see the housing going up in Nanaimo as the years go, or do you think it's gonna kind of like level out for a bit?
I think we've seen a bit of stabilization in the last year.
Okay.
Because we had those 2-3 years where it jumped double digits.
Yeah.
And that just can't happen over time. There's always going to be a period of cooling, and I think that's what's happening in the last year. We might see a bit of cooling this year, maybe not in, whether it's from a demand perspective or a price perspective. I think things are going to stay pretty level right now. Beyond that, who knows? There's so much happening in the world right now that it's hard to try to predict anything.
Totally.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You got viruses, you got, political situations.
Oh my god. And it's been like the first month of 2020, like...
Yeah, is it? Oh my god.
Yeah, like, it's February now. We just got through the first month. Like, it's only the worst. Hopefully that was the worst of the year.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Like, I'm excited for 2020. I'm excited for Nanaimo. I'm excited for my job. I'm trying to have a really positive outlook in life.
Definitely. I definitely think positivity is the way to go. And as long as you can see the light in any situation, I think it'll make whatever it is a little easier.
Yeah. I'm usually quite a monotone, well, you can tell. And I wouldn't say I'm a pessimistic person, but I'm a realist. Like, I always have a very sort of straight line look on life, and my wife is a very, very happy person, full of love, and she helps me see light in things that I don't normally see.
That's good. Kind of work well together.
Oh, that's a good balance.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess any advice for someone looking to buy a house, whether it be their first time or, I guess probably mostly for first time home buyers.
Whether it's a first time home buyer or your second time, whatever it is to do with mortgage financing, I'd say make sure the right professionals are in your corner.
Okay.
From the realtor to the mortgage broker to the lawyer to the home inspector. If you can have a really good team with you every step of the way, the process will be not so stressful, and you'll know that the advice that you're getting is helping you make a really, really good decision, because it is one of the biggest things you'll do in your life.
Totally.
And you want to make sure that there's no regrets. You don't want to buy a house and move in and be, why did I do that?
Totally.
Why did I spend that much? Why are we,
Yeah, if you don't want to buy a house with any buyer's remorse.
Yeah, you can return a PlayStation.
Exactly, right? Yeah, you cannot return a house.
Yeah, so I think make sure you have the right professionals in your corner who have your best interest at heart.
Yeah, okay.
And,
smart. That's very smart, yeah. Definitely take your time finding everyone that you feel is the right right for you.
Yeah.
Don't rush. So don't even rush buying a house.
No.
Like, look at every house that you can.
Yeah, and I think a lot of realtors out there are like that. They're happy enough to, show you as many houses as you need.
Yeah.
And because they want to make sure you're happy too, because they're also looking for that lifetime client.
Exactly, right? And if you walk away super happy, you're way more likely to recommend this person than not, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Relationships. It's all about relationships.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing by people.
Yeah. I've always thought this world is not what you know. I mean, it is to a degree, but it's a lot of who you know.
Yeah.
And
if who you know are good people, then
exactly,
just the good grows, right?
Exactly, and that's why I like about the world, because I like meeting people. I like meeting good people and all that stuff. So
yeah, and Nanaimo was kind of funny too. When I first moved here, I didn't think I would meet a lot of interesting people from other parts of the world.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of interesting people in Nanaimo. From people born and raised here, from people who moved here from other parts of Canada, other parts of the world.
Yeah.
And there's so many different stories and personalities and characters, and it's a very dynamic city, and
totally.
I like it. There is this multiculturalism or whatever going on, and you can always have an interesting conversation somewhere.
I believe it. Because there's definitely there's always someone you can think of that's done something way different than what you've done. Everyone's got such a way more unique story to tell.
Yeah, well, that's what brings us together, I think.
Totally.
Just stories and food. I love
Of course,
food.
yeah. You can never have enough. That's what I tell myself too. Well, Balraj, I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Where can the people find you?
Where you can find me, I'm mostly online. I have a Facebook page. Yeah, you can find me there. I have a website, www.themortgagemaan.ca. That's man with 2 A's. That's pretty much it, really.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll make sure your Instagram's on there and everything like that,
awesome.
And all that stuff. If you like the episode, hit that subscribe button. Check out the other videos. You can find me at Just Koryzma on pretty much everything. And we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you.